Provincial and federal politicians are demanding answers today into how China got the deal to build BC Ferries' new vessels after a leaked report that we first told you about last night showed there was a plan to build the ships locally that governments ignored. For more, let's bring in Rob Shaw at the BC Legislature. Rob, you first outlined this story for us last night based on that leaked report. What has the reaction been today?
Well, Stacey, outrage from the opposition parties, but also the organized labor sector today to learn that C-SPAN, the province's largest shipyard, had a proposal to phase in construction of those new BC Ferries ships. Would have generated $1 billion for the economy and 10,000 jobs. It gave the plan to government 2 years ago, and nobody did anything about it. The Conservatives, federally and provincially today, demanding answers both on how the BC government failed to force ferries to put a premium on local jobs and economic benefit in the tendering process, like the report recommended, and why Ottawa is still offering a $1 billion taxpayer-backed low-interest loan to do business with China rather than using that to create a maritime shipbuilding sector here. In both cases, critics say the government should have followed the proposal in the report to phase in construction of ships 2 to 4 in BC and full construction for another 4 ships after that.
These vessels can be done in part in another country and finished here, or they could all be done here. So this is where Mark Carney and David Eby need to actually sit down and have a serious discussion about shipbuilding in this country and whether or not they're going to live up to their rhetoric, because we have a whole generation of shipbuilders that could benefit from this and the employment that it would offer in British Columbia or throughout the country. We know that we can do this. We had 2 shipyards, both Davie as well as C-SPAN, express interest in this. But when the moment they saw the RFP from BC Ferries, they knew the fix was in.
David Eby and this government looked British Columbians in the eyes and completely lied to them, said there was no way. There was a way. They just needed the political will, and they failed British Columbians at a time where we need jobs.
The BC government, which got this report 2 years ago, ignored it and then expressed disappointment when the contract went to China, today said it is reading the report. Here's Mike Farnworth.
I've heard about this report and I'm reviewing that report. Am I disappointed that there's not more, that they aren't being built here? Of course I am. That's also why we want to work with the federal government and the industry to find ways in which we can get ferries built. But the reality is waiting, a phased approach is not what ferry passengers in this province expect or want. They want ferries now. That's what the decision that BC Ferries has made.
The BC Ferry and Marine Workers Union, the BC Building Trades, both out today saying in statements that this proves ferries should and could have built in BC. It was a failure of political leadership to not make that happen. And both saying that BC shipyards never had a chance, though, against low-cost, low human rights records of countries like China. Another twist in the story, this report here had been requested by the House of Commons and their Federal Transportation Committee from BC Ferries, which did not provide it, and the committee now questioning why that was withheld by BC Ferries. Lots continue to happen as a result of this report.